Fall is one of the best times of year when it comes to decorating, and today we are setting out to see if we can create a pretty fall front porch look that will not only make the front of our new home welcoming, but also inspire you to get out there and decorate your own front porch for fall. Earlier this year, you came along as we gave our front porch a makeover for spring, and after many months, it is now in need of a refresh to carry us into fall. We're going to take you along again, starting with shopping for all of the pumpkins and porch decor. My mom Amanda, my dad Benny, and I started our day by heading off to see what cute pumpkins and other fall porch decor we could find. We all loaded into my dad's truck and headed up the road to our favorite local farm stand. Not far from our home, past some cornfields, is a cute spot called Anderson Farms. It's a quaint farm stand with fresh local produce, baked goods, some cute home decor, outdoor plants, and most importantly, pumpkins. They also have some cute farm animals like goats and chickens and some bunnies, but we'll go say hi to them a little bit later. When we first got there, we did a little looking around, but then we got straight to business. The reason we came, picking out pumpkins. My dad grabbed a cart and we headed to this charming wagon that they had fully stocked with pumpkins of all different shapes and sizes. There were lots of great options to choose from, so we didn't waste any time picking out our favorites. We love these pretty sage green pumpkins, so these were a no-brainer, and my mom and I picked out 3 of those. We tried to aim for 3 of each type of pumpkin so that our front porch wouldn't end up looking too symmetrical. We're obviously also big fans of white pumpkins, so we picked out a few of those too. When you go to buy your pumpkins, make sure to pick out ones that are slightly different in size to help create some variety in your front porch look. There were also some mini white pumpkins which are so adorable, so we loaded up on a few of those to mix in with our bigger pumpkins. Instead of picking out some of the more traditional bright orange pumpkins, we opted for these more muted, faded orange pumpkins. They're almost like a light peach color and they are so pretty. There are also lots of fun and funky gourds to pick from. We dug through the different shapes, colors, and textures to find a few to add to our cart. And just look at how pretty this collection of pumpkins is already. Next, we took our cart and looked around for fall plants that we could style with our pumpkins. We love the look of cabbage and kale for fall. That pretty green with touches of purple is just so lovely. My mom picked out 3 of these, again to keep the overall look varied. We knew that we wanted to get some hay bales to add height and texture to our front porch display, so my dad grabbed another cart and loaded up 2 hay bales for us. We really appreciate having my dad's help with our projects. He's always such a good sport and ready to help us with whatever we need. My mom found these really great tall plants that we later learned are called millet. We love how big and flowy they are, so we quickly loaded those up too. Lastly, we picked out these beautiful yellow flowering plants, and while we were getting rung up for all of our stuff, my mom also added these 2 plants with these cute colorful little peppers. After that, we loaded everything into the truck, but before we left, we wanted to go say hi to all of the cute animals. We're pretty obsessed with animals and we're happy anytime we get to be around them, so it's really fun that we get to visit with these little cuties while we're at Anderson Farms. Back at home, we backed up the truck to get ready to unload everything. We started by packing all of the pumpkins in the grass because there was an important step that we had to do first before we could decorate our front porch with them. So you know how most pumpkins are pretty dirty when you bring them home? Well, that dirt can cause them to rot before fall is even over, so we will take care of that first. You simply have to wash them off. We use a bowl of warm water, a bristle scrubbing brush, and a little bit of Dawn dish soap and start scrubbing. This is an added step in the process, but it is well worth it to help preserve your pumpkins as long as possible. What we haven't quite figured out yet is how to stop critters from eating the pumpkins, so if you have any tips on that, be sure to leave them in the comments. When your pumpkins are all cleaned up, take your garden hose and rinse them off. Then you can either towel dry them or leave them out in the sun to dry, but make sure that they don't stay wet for too long. While we waited for the sun to dry those off for us, we started to clear some of the spring and summer decor off of the porch so that we could start fresh. Lots of our flower pots are still thriving, so we will be using those in our garden leading up to our front porch. Who remembers the cute planter we put together this spring in this galvanized bucket? Yeah, it's seen better days, but it served us well through most of summer. Lastly, my mom and I did some sweeping. And just like that, we have a lovely clean slate to work with. We had a lot of fun earlier at the farm stall, but now we have our porch cleared off and our pumpkins cleaned up. So now it's time to make a game plan about exactly where we want everything to go. And it'll kind of build on each other. You know, we don't know exactly where it's gonna go. We're just gonna play around with it and have fun. This is the fun part, the decorating of the porch. So I was thinking that we bring in the two biggest things first.
Yes.
And then the hay bales, and then like layer in the pumpkins. Kind of like start with the biggest stuff first, yeah, and like layer it in.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go for it. We started by adding the 2 millet plants on either side of the door and then planned where we wanted the hay bales to go. Since our little table set is on one side of the door, we put both hay bales together on the other side, but we put one of them flat and one of them standing up to create varying heights. Next, we brought in these pretty yellow flowers and put one on the hay and the other one on the table set. I added our same welcome mat back because it's still brand new from earlier this year, and even with these few touches, the porch was already looking so pretty. That just goes to show that you don't have to do a ton to make it look great. Next, we started bringing in some of our bigger pumpkins. We put one big green one on the hay bale, one of the peachy ones layered in front, and a smaller white one on the hay. Then we layered some tiny pumpkins and gourds together with all of that. Next, my mom added one of the little pepper plants in this antique sink that we love to use as a planter. Then she added one of the peachy pumpkins on the other side of the door with the other pepper plant. I brought in another green pumpkin and leaned it up against the pot of the millet plant so that it would face forward. We love this trick for styling pumpkins and other fall decor. I used the last peachy pumpkin and some cabbage on the other hay bale and brought in some small gourds to finish it off. The next order of business was to finish styling the top of the table set, so we brought in some tiny pumpkins and cabbage. My mom played around with this for a little while, but she couldn't settle on a look that she liked. Then I came in with more greenery and tried to see if I could balance it all out. After a bit of tweaking, it was almost perfect. Wait. There. Now it's perfect. We love the look of cabbage and kale laying on its sides, just like we did with the pumpkins before. With the pumpkins and porch decor that we had left, I styled all of it to one side of our walkway using our step as a riser to create this moment. The last thing left to do was to take down the summery hanging baskets and plant some fall flowers in their place. While my mom worked on that, I quickly swapped out the wreath on our front door for a fall one that we already had from previous years. We can't link this specific one for you, but we did curate a few other fall wreaths for you to browse through if you're in the market for one. That is linked for you down in the description. I tried to help hang the flower baskets back up, but they were heavier than I thought. Oh my god, that's heavy. Alright, I did it. I don't need no man. That's true, I don't need no man. But I did let my dad take care of hanging up the other two. With that, the front porch is all decorated and ready for fall. Now that you have inspiration for how to decorate your front porch, this next video will help you pick out some lovely fall decor for inside your home.